Welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show on 94.7 The Pulse. Music, interviews, news, and, well, Two Blokes Chatting. Now, here are the two blokes.
'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've travelled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Mooloolaba, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Marillaba, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connemara, Connemara, Strathround, Proserpine, Ulladulla, Darwin, Gingin, Lilliquin, Muckdilla, Wallumbilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakilla. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed.
You know that rule we've got, Rob, where we say we absolutely never go back to the same place twice?
Is that rule?
Yeah, the regional roundup rule, we never go back to the same place. But brackets in terms and conditions apply. If they're really nice people that we like, we go back and talk to them. And Amy Treacy up in Cohuna is one such person. Hello, Amy.
Hello, how are we? Thanks for having me back.
Well, you are now officially a fob. That is to say, a friend of the blokes. Apparently that's a rude word in the younger generation, so I've got to stop saying it. We'll have to think of something else that we can say instead. Mates of blokes.
Mates of blokes.
We can be the mob. There you go. We've just reinvented ourselves. Hey, Amy, the reason we want to come and talk to you today, and I know it's obviously a difficult time up there on the Murray River, but we wanted to, A, just find out how things are going up there, and B, sort of give a long-range wave to the good folks on the Murray River who have got a little bit of water laying around at the moment.
We absolutely do. Now, full disclosure, my town, Cohuna, we're in between Kerrang and Echuca, so those two places have definitely been on the news lately for being inundated and being under a lot of duress, but we've been told that actual Cohuna is quite safe. There's little patches of issues happening that are sort of being sandbanked and stuff, but as a whole, our actual town, not too bad, but of course, many of the farms surrounding us are under a lot of duress at the moment. So, yeah, it's a tricky time.
I think one of the things with flood, and I guess bushfire to a certain extent, with flood, particularly a riverine flood, as it was described the other day, that is to say a flood from a river, you get a little bit of warning typically, don't you? Like, you know, the folk at Robinvale at the moment are probably going, yeah, it's on its way. Is that how you sense it up there?
We've had a little bit of warning because we knew that we had such heavy rains and I mean, the thing with the Echuca is it's the meeting place of a lot of waterways, but just it's so unpredictable because I don't think there's ever been this much. So they really didn't know, and that's probably what's causing a lot of the stress is just the uncertainty around how high is it going to get, where is it actually going to flow to, and how long is it going to hang around as well, because that's sort of the thing. It's not just a peak and then it moves off. In many of the places that has happened, but in a lot of the places the water is just hanging about, especially out on the farms. It's just sitting on the paddocks and not moving away, which then creates its own set of problems.
And in the old days, Amy, a normal flood, it would get wet and then you'd have 5 or 6 days of sunshine and the water would disappear and you clean up the mess and start all over again. But I don't know what your forecast is like. We've got rain every day for the next 8 days forecast, so there's no respite. It's not obviously going to drop at the normal rate that it would to allow you to recover.
No, that's right. And it's not just the rain that falls in our actual direct area. We have to, of course, look at the upstream conditions. And, you know, they were predicting snow, I think, the other day. And I think at some point you just have to kind of stop looking at the weather forecast because it's, that does look like there's a lot more to come. And it really doesn't help the morale of the place to know or not know how long this is going to go on for.
You've got a little attempted laugh there, but I sense it's very much fabricated because it must be tough. How are you coping personally and then the community in general?
Well, personally, not affected too much. Of course, there's so many people in so many worse places. So I feel like people like myself who don't have a home that's inundated or, you know, livestock to worry about, I'm trying to step up and support those people and do whatever I can in the community to help the people that really need the help. And my husband and his team, he's in the CFA, and I feel like I haven't seen him for 2 weeks, but I'm absolutely happy for that because I know he's out doing what he loves, helping protect the community. And those teams of people step up. There's also been a lot of farmers and business people that are really having to do things themselves. There's only so many SES and CFA and all the other support services, and they seem to be focused in the areas, of most critical need, which makes sense, but it means that there's not that many people to help support, and it means you've got to get your family, friends and community, and even just random volunteers that are going and saying, what can I do to help? So we're just trying to support everyone that needs the support. And for the long term as well, because this isn't just going to go away. It's going to be a long-term sort of thing. The businesses are going to be affected, the farms are going to be affected, and so I'll be there for everyone, for all of the time. And
we don't, normally, because we're community radio, we don't promote businesses, but I just want to give a shout out to your Facebook page, and I'll ask you to tell us what that is in a moment, because what Amy's been doing, Rob, is on her Facebook page putting links to important websites and so forth, so it's a really good place to go if you're thinking either where we are, just trying to morally support, but if you're actually in the area. Amy, tell us about your website or your Facebook page.
So my business is Bush Biz Boost, and I sort of thought how appropriate at the moment we need to give bush businesses a boost. So What can I do? I'm sitting in my office. Obviously, my work's dried up as well because no one's thinking about their social media. No one's thinking about next year. They're thinking about today, getting through today. So I created a page on my website as, like you said, a resource, because there didn't seem to be a one-stop shop for information. And the last thing when you're under stress you want to be doing is going, how do I get in touch with Business Victoria? How do I get in touch with the SES? How do I get in touch with, all those different things? How do I find out about any financial support that's available at the moment? So I've just sort of added things as I've found them or discovered them. I've even put on things like I've had contact from lots of people from Melbourne and away saying, what can we do to help? Can we donate? So I've sort of just made it so it's a resource list, and then I've even added on a directory that rural businesses can add themselves to, so that you can support them or they can support you. So just a one spot to go if anyone wants to go there and have a look at what they can do to help.
And that's your website or your Facebook page?
It's actually my website, but you can go to my Facebook page to find it.
Okay, so Bush Biz Boost. I always stumble over. I get the words. I get the right words. I just get them in the wrong order. bushbizboost.com.au. Hey, Amy, we should let you go because we've got to go and do other things. But thank you so much for taking some time out. We'll let you go past without reference to the fact that you said your work is drying up in the middle of a flood, but that's okay.
Sorry. Thanks for having me.
It's a great pleasure, and best wishes
to you and, up there. And everyone. It's a tough gig, but I know, like most communities, well, all communities in Australia, you just come together naturally, and it sounds like you're doing it up there.
That's right.